Here's the thing. Birds are real, and it's mean to say that they're not. All right, here we are. We're back for episode two.
Episode two. I can't believe I'm sitting back in front of the camera. It's because we're recording before we released episode one, so we haven't gotten any negative comments yet.
Yep, I know. We haven't gotten too many negative comment. Well, we haven't gotten negative comments yet about our appearance, which is why we feel confident enough to show our faces a second time. But once episode one rolls out, and the hate comments flow in, we'll reconsider. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll get like those avatars that like their mouths move when we talk, you know?
Those creep me out, dude. I feel like a lot of people a lot of people do that now.
Yeah.
Also, like I don't really listen to other podcasts. Do other podcasts say like now we're in episode two? I feel like we do that, but maybe other podcasts don't.
I mean, maybe we're just built different. I don't know. I
That's
do
true.
think, yeah,
We can do our own thing. You're so right.
we can.
Never
I
mind.
do think other podcasts don't necessarily keep track of like season and episode the way we do, but I
Mm.
kind of like it.
Yeah, you're right. I fell into the trap of just comparing myself to everyone else like I always do. And we can just do our own thing. So here we are. Episode two. You heard it here first.
Season three.
Um, season three.
By the
So
way, if it's not apparent, this is a bird podcast. We talk about birds.
we talk about birds and bird adjacent topics. Yeah, if you caught episode one, you may know that we're gonna do things a little bit differently than seasons one and two. Seasons one and two, we um, came prepared with topics. Not that we're not prepared now, but the vibe is gonna be a little more conversational, um, and a little bit more back and forth between Sam and I compared to seasons one and two.
Yeah, we are remote now. We used to record in the same place. We're in different places now. And we're trying out this whole video thing since, I don't know, the talkies aren't seeming to go away. So might as well lean in.
Yeah. So in season or sorry, in episode one, Sam talked about hitting 200 lifers, which is a huge accomplishment. Congrats. And in this episode, I'm gonna talk about Virginia beach birding. I've only been here for a little over a month at this point, gone out birding a couple of times, um, and just want to tell you guys about how things are a little bit different than Philly, what I've been seeing out here, and what I'm planning to do in the future out here. So. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited to hear about it because I mean, I've lived in a couple different places, but Philly is pretty much the only place where I've been actively birding and like keeping track of stuff. So that's kind of the birding that I know. So excited to hear about a different area, the type of birds you might be seeing, type of birds you might expect to see. But, before we do that, we have to start out with our field notes, which actually is going to kind of be the same thing, huh? We're talking
Yeah.
about the birds that you see.
I was gonna say well I do want to hear your field notes. So the thing about being remote now, it's like when we were birding together in Philly, which is great for many reasons, we went together most of the time and our field notes were the same pretty much, right? We were birding together. But now you're over there, I'm out here, so I'm sure you're excited to hear what I have to say about my birding adventures, and I'm excited about what you have to say about yours. So, um, my main topic today is going to be pretty much field notes, so I'll stay quiet for this part and I'll let you take it away.
Okay. Well, as always, went to good old John Hines. There's no water there. There's no water at all.
Still no
Still, I
water.
mean, there's still the government shutdown is happening. So I don't
Yeah.
know if they were planning to, pump the water back in, but nothing there. There is still the creek and there's still water there. But there's just not as many birds over there. But we went early before work one Friday morning, and I went there specifically to try and find people had mentioned that they were seeing pipits. like American pipits, which
Hmm.
is not something I've seen. I've, looked at pictures and it's not all too dissimilar from just like a sparrow, but still, a lifer, something I hadn't seen. So went there and there was a lot of little guys jumping around in the trees. The leaves haven't quite fallen yet, so it's still kind of hard to see, the little guys in the trees especially. And there were a bunch, and I got pictures, and I was like, oh, these are definitely pipits or something. Like, look at there's like some yellow, there's like orange, brown. These aren't like shades of brown that I normally see. And I thought like, oh, maybe this is like a fox sparrow or something. It looks like, the head's orange and whatever. And so we go through it. It's a pretty quick birding session because I do have to get home, go to work Friday morning. And looked at the pictures. They were all yellow rumped warblers. All yellow rumped
Yep.
warblers. Yeah.
I saw a few this morning as well. Yeah. The fox sparrow, I know we were kind of passively looking for it last winter-ish. It's like a fall winter type of sparrow up there, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. And it looks super cool. I don't I'll have to check if its range comes down all the way down to Virginia Beach or not, but alas, no pipit sounds like.
No, no, literally the only bird that I saw and like clocked was a yellow rumped warbler, which is like it's fun that there's a warbler that hangs around for a while because all the other warblers basically at this point are gone.
Hmm.
But it's like the only bird you see. That's and every time I see one, I'm like, oh my God, what is this bird? I saw a flash of yellow. What could it be? And it's always a yellow rumped warbler. So I'll take it though. I still like the little guys.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
But
Any
I haven't been seeing the belted kingfisher at all. And so that's interesting. So basically Hines is split into like two parts, at least where the water used to be. So there's the creek, which is where the water like naturally runs through. And then they kind of like pipe it over into the impoundment, which is sort of a pond. And normally what you're looking at is in the pond. That's where most of the birds you're going to find are like shorebirds, wading birds, stuff like that. But the kingfisher was always over by the creek. It's pretty good fishing there, I guess, for a kingfisher. And we would see it pretty much every time we went out birding. For a time, it had a very distinctive call. It was like clicking sound. It would fly back and
the
forth from
rattling
like
sound,
branch to
yeah.
branch. And pretty much no matter what, you would go and you would see it at some point, or at least hear it. And I haven't heard it maybe all year, at least since like spring. Haven't seen it, and still I'm not seeing it. So I don't really know what's going on. I did see a kingfisher the other week when I went to Bombay Hook National Wildlife Refuge, but haven't seen it at Hines for a while.
Yeah, it's interesting. Last time I was at Hines, which is like, 6 weeks, a couple of months ago at this point, the impoundment was dry, but Darby Creek was pretty full. Like the water level is a lot higher than it usually is. And I'm wondering if that has any effect on the kingfishers. You would think it like maybe benefits them. Like, they have a greater ability to dive in like water that's not shallow. I don't know, but I'm just wondering if that has any effect on it.
It might. Yeah, you're right. Like maybe it's if when there's that much water, maybe the current's like too strong. It wants to go somewhere where it's a little calmer or something. I don't
Yeah.
know. I also went to Hawk Mountain in
Again,
Pennsylvania. Yeah, again, yep, about an
after after
hour-ish
your
away.
after your and Rochelle's failure last time.
Yeah, and let me tell you, even more of a failure this time.
Oh.
It's the thing about Hawk Mountain, it's really bizarre. So you go and there's like you're just like in the woods. You're at a mountain. It's all wooded.
Hmm.
It looks very naturey. You drive up and there's like 40 employees who are directing you where to go, where to park. Every like 20 feet, there's another person like pointing in another direction. It's interesting.
Hmm.
But once we park, you get out and you feel like you're in nature. There's trees, there's a visitor center. You got to go get a pass to go take you have to pay to go up Hawk Mountain to like hike. And you get in there and there is just not a peep. There are no songbirds anywhere. It's kind of
Hmm.
astounding. I don't know. I don't understand why. It might just be because there's so many people there. It's a really heavily trafficked area, so there's a bunch of people there, and they're all pretty. Not everyone's birding. They're mostly just like hiking, having family fun,
Hmm.
being fairly loud, which, that's their right. That's fine. But there's no birds calling, nothing, and that's a little bizarre. But then you get to these overlook spots where you kind of like post up and you just look over the horizon for birds of prey, hawks, Hawk Mountain.
Hmm.
And we got to an overlook place. A lot of people were there just kind of sitting and watching. And the thing about Hawk Mountain, I think, is that you kind of have to be prepared to spend like 6 hours there, probably, and just like sit and watch. And that's how you'll start seeing stuff. But we didn't have that kind of time. We only had, a little bit of time there. So we hiked to our spot. We sat there for like 20 minutes, maybe, tried to find any hawks, didn't see anything, and hiked back down. So even more of a failure this time.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear. You think you'll go for the three-peat? You think you'll try again at some
Oh,
point?
I'm sure. The thing with Hawk Mountain is you go through cycles where you go to Hawk Mountain, you're like, oh, this was kind of disappointing. And then you think, I'm not
Hmm.
going to go to Hawk Mountain because I'm not going to see anything. And then it's been enough time and you think, oh, you know where I should go is Hawk Mountain. I bet there's some good stuff there. And then the cycle just continues. So, yeah, give me another 4 or 5 months. I'll make my way back there.
Yeah. Last time you guys went, did you go for like raptor migration, like specifically? Like, was it that time of year?
Yeah, but last time we went, we got there late. So we only had like an hour before
Ah,
sunset, and you got to be off there by sunset. So
gotcha,
this
gotcha.
time we got there in the morning, but there was still just not a whole lot. And we had to be somewhere also. So we left early.
Nice. All right. Well, I'm saving my field notes. So should we move on to the hoot topics?
I think we should. Hopefully, you all enjoy hearing me talk because that's all that happened just then. Let's go to the hoot topics.
Moving on to hoot topics, we have two great hoot topics for you all today. Uh, and yeah, send them in. We need a little bit more for the coming episodes. Or yeah, send them in via email, birdsarereal.pod@gmail.com, or our Instagram, birdsarerealpod. Um,
Here's something I think you might be able to do. And I'd like you, the listener, the humble listener or viewer, if you're on YouTube, to try this out. I think you can text an email. So if you don't want to get on your email, that's too much of a barrier for sending a hoot topic. Whip out your phone, send a new text. Instead of typing in a phone number up there, just type in birdsarereal.pod@gmail.com. I think it works.
Interesting. I did not know the technology has advanced that far, but yeah, give that a go. Um,
I might be wrong.
we have try it and let us know.
Give it a shot.
Um, we have a hoot topic from a new person this time, and Sam, I'll let you take the lead on that one.
Yeah, thank you, Oscar, for sending in a hoot topic. Very excited to answer this one. It's about bird feeders. So here we go. Hi team! Exclamation point. It's kind of nice, shows excitement. I'm interested in putting a bird feeder off my balcony in my city apartment. Do you have any recs for food or watchouts/tips? Thanks. Another exclamation point. So that made me feel excited to answer the question. I I have a bird feeder. I used to have a bird feeder too when I lived on a third floor apartment. So I have a couple of thoughts here. Keish, do you have any initial thoughts?
I've never had a bird feeder. Don't necessarily plan on. Actually, I have a balcony in this apartment. I'll have to check my apartment rules. Maybe I can have a bird feeder. Maybe I'm a fake birder for not having a bird feeder. I don't know. But you let me know in the comments or in the email if I'm a fake birder. But
Text us.
sounds like Texas sounds like Oscar's in a city apartment. So if he's higher up, he may not have to worry about squirrels or rats, kind of like you had to worry about in your Philly apartment. I think nuts and seeds is like a good go-to. You'll get your sparrows, your finches, stuff like that. Suet, I think, is good for woodpeckers, but I don't know if that's something you're gonna expect in a city.
Yeah. So I would say in terms of food, I would start probably by seeing if there's a local bird store. A lot of times there actually are. There's bird stores all over the place. Kind of something we don't think about or talk about very much, but I went to one, not in Philly actually, in New Jersey, but we're close to New Jersey. So I went to one and they just know a lot about like what kind of birds you might expect to see around. So what kind of food would be good for you specifically. And once they let you know, you can honestly go to something like Costco and get a giant bag for, not very expensive. That's what I do. So that would be my recommendation. But the city of it all does make it a little tricky, right? I think a lot of times what you do to put up a bird feeder is either like you have a little like hook thing that you stick in the ground and then hang the bird feeder from there. If you're in a balcony, you don't have ground to stick a hook thing in. Or like, depending on how much you can mess with the balcony, they're like then you can like clamp it onto a railing, make sure it's really sturdy and it's also kind of hanging from a hook. Something that I did back in Boulder when I lived there, we were up on the third floor and we did have a balcony, but we did have a squirrel problem. This was the most aggressive squirrel I've ever seen. It ate our furniture. We had chairs out there and it ate the chairs. Like it just I don't
You sure? You sure it wasn't a beaver, a small beaver?
I saw it. It would stare at us while it did it. It was really aggressive. But so I couldn't put it like on the balcony itself. I had to stick it to our window. They make these bird feeders that will suction cup to windows. And this apartment that I was living at, it burned down after I moved out, like a week after I moved out. But it was not very well built. So I had to take the window off to like reach to the other window and stick the bird feeder on. And then I could never get the window back on. So we just kind of had like a window that was sort of closed with, tape and we stuck it up there. If that's what happens with you, I wouldn't recommend sticking a bird feeder there. But if you have easy access to your window, go ahead. I will say though, you want to probably put up some decals so birds don't just like fly right into your window.
It's true. It's a huge problem, especially in the city. Clear windows, birds just running into them. So yeah, good call
Yep.
there. Now that I think about it, putting up a bird feeder is probably not a great idea for me. There's a lot of trees around that squirrels, I'm sure, can get onto my balcony. And I just have a ton of fish crows here, so I'm sure they're just gonna bully any other warbler, anything that comes nearby. So maybe not the
Yeah.
best idea for me.
Yeah. Generally, if there are corvids around, even like a blue jay, they're gonna get all the food. But
They're gonna bully him, yeah.
mhm. But hope it
Well,
works
thank
out for
you.
you. Yeah, let us know what kind of birds you find, what your setup is. You can even send us a picture if you want of your setup.
Yeah, thanks, Oscar, for sending in that hoot topic. Could be a new listener because it's the first time I think Oscar sent something in. So
Yeah.
if we're getting new listeners, that's we must be doing something right.
People are talking about us. If you're
People are.
listening and you're not talking about us, just know that people are. So you should probably be talking about us.
Did you see even some celebrities are throwing shade? Like Jesse Plemons in a recent interview said birds aren't real. So
Yeah.
I think that's a target towards us. Like he knows about us clearly. So
Yeah. Yeah. And Emma Stone was
um,
kind of in on that conversation too. So if
mhm.
you're fans of those people and you want to see, a lively debate, you should probably listen every week because who knows, that might happen.
We might get him on,
Yeah.
for a lively debate. Yeah.
Hmm.
Anyway, our second Who topic of the day is from longtime listener, longtime fan, Jax. She says, "Howdy, my best bird friends." No exclamation mark though. So,
The howdy makes up for it.
okay. I was gonna say maybe not as excited as Oscar, but howdy's, warm. Maybe a little
Hmm.
warmer. All right. Anyway, the question is, what bird would you bring home to meet your parents? I like this question. That's a good question.
Yeah, this is a good question. I think I'd like you to go first.
Okay, let me think about it. So. Here's the trouble of it being live. When we were together recording in person, we could just hit the pause button, think about it, and unpause it. I can't do that now. Okay, I think I have one. You got one?
I will when you're done talking about yours.
Okay, sure, sure. All right, I'm going to choose the little penguin.
The
The little
little
penguin.
penguin,
The little
a,
penguin.
a
I was
good
thinking,
wingspan bird.
is it though? It's good if you're
It,
lucky. So when you're introducing someone to your parents or bringing home someone to meet your parents, you want them to be polite. You want them to be presentable and, you know, fun, a good time. So my head went to, what's someone that's proper, a bird that's proper, a bird that's very polite, a bird in a tuxedo, a penguin. The little
I
penguin does
mean,
not have a tuxedo though. I was thinking, the little penguin could be a little more diminutive, therefore not a threat.
right?
So,
You get an emperor penguin in there, you're like looking eye to eye, and you're like, oh
yeah,
God.
you don't want that. You don't want that. So, yeah, that's my choice, little penguin.
It's a good choice. I feel like if I were a parent and my child brought home a little penguin, I would think that's very respectable. What a nice little penguin you've brought me.
I think they also call them fairy penguins, which is even more non-threatening. So, there you
Wow.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very super effective against dragon types. Shout out Pokemon. Boy. Okay, so I think you can go that way, right? You can go with the, polite, you want your parents to approve. You can also go the other way. Let's think back in time about 10 years to when I was a teenager. It's been a while, but when you're a
Yeah.
teenager, sometimes you want to make your parents mad. Sometimes you want to rebel a little bit, bring home someone who's gonna make them get a little, upset. I'm sure my parents are so used to me making them upset, so shout out my parents. But I think I would bring home a common grackle. I like grackles quite a bit. A lot of people don't. They're noisy. They are bullies at bird feeders, even though they're not corvids. And they are especially bullies. I'm going to pull the curtain back a little bit at my parents' bird feeder. There's a lot
Hmm.
of cool birds that come to my parents' bird feeder. We talked about the rose-breasted grosbeak, but there's also a lot of common grackles. And my parents are kind of sick of them. So just to push some buttons, I'm bringing home a common grackle.
That's interesting. So the vibes I get from that are I was thinking like if I would bring home someone now or like, like as an adult or like a teen, but um bringing home a common grackle feels like when you're like an elementary school kid and you like made your first friend and your parents are happy that you have friends and you bring someone home and they're just like super annoying, but they're a child, so you can't do anything about it, you know? That's kind of what I'm feeling like the common grackle is like.
Yeah, they're like,
Like
"Well, at
they're like,
at
"Oh,
my house we
you."
have Cheetos. Like I can eat Cheetos whenever I want at my house.
hmm
Yeah.
And they're just noisy. Yeah, yeah. Look up if you're not familiar with the common grackles call, look up a common grackle call. It's not super pleasant.
No, it's loud. And you bring one, there's gonna be like 50 more that follow you. So yeah.
Hmm
An interesting time. Shout out to Mr. and Mrs. Sam's parents. I wouldn't actually bring you a common grackle, but for the sake of entertainment for the podcast, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Gotta do what you gotta do. Um,
And before we
yeah,
end our hoot topics, I did want to just briefly bring up some fun bird news in the birding world, which I think we should do from time to time. There's not always that much news, and this was pretty interesting to me. There was recently, I believe in September, so we're a little behind the curve. What are you going to do? A new species of sort found in Texas. So, if you are ever like faced with a duck or a goose or something that looks kind of like a Canada goose or like a mallard, but it's like, different. It's got like weird white splotches and stuff. A lot of times you're looking at a hybrid duck or a hybrid goose, and those do occur Like sometimes that's domestic. Like if you have pets and stuff, they'll be domestic, they'll be hybrid like that. This one occurred in the wild, and it's not a duck, it's not a goose, it's a corvid, a jay. So a blue jay and a green jay. If you didn't know, green jays are also a type of jay. Normally in like Central South America, they found a hybrid of one. People are calling it the Grue jay
Like from Despicable Me, Green
with an
Jay.
E at the end, like green and blue.
Ah,
But, you know. It looks weird.
yeah.
It does, but it's been like verified by like bird people. It's not a hoax. It's not a Photoshop or AI thing. It's a Grue jay.
So is that I feel like that's just considered like a new hybrid, right? It's not a new species, like
I don't think it's a new
technically.
species. I think it, but
Yeah.
I think the interesting thing is that it's like naturally occurring, which they've
Yeah.
never seen before with these particular species.
Yeah. I looked up a green jay because I wasn't sure what that was. That's a cool looking bird.
I'd love to see one.
Yeah. Yes, yes. Cool, yeah. Um New offspring. Or sorry, new hybrid offspring. That is really cool.
Yeah. So keep your
Imagine
eyes
being
peeled. Yeah,
I was gonna say, imagine being the person to like find a new hybrid or like a, that'd be super cool.
I know. I feel like I'm always thinking like, I take a picture of a bird. I'm like, oh my God, like a new, not a new hybrid, but I'm like, oh, a rare bird that we've never seen here before. How amazing. And then I post it in our Discord and someone's like, that's a lesser yellow legs. And I'm like, oh yeah, cool, cool. So
Yeah,
I feel like if I
we've
found one,
definitely
I wouldn't bring it up. I just wouldn't know.
yeah. Yeah, we've definitely run into that a couple of times where we thought like um we saw a bird at John Hines that's like typically not there during that time of year or something. We post about it, be like, hey, is this like interesting to anyone? Everyone's like, nah.
Yeah, everyone's just
This
like,
is
no.
this is when they start coming. That's pretty normal. We're like, oh,
Yeah,
great, thanks. Um, all right, yeah. So thanks for that birding news. Yeah,
yeah,
if you see any birding news that you think we may not be privy to, let us know. We like to keep up with the happenings in the birding
we
world.
do. Yeah, you don't even have to think of a question for a hoot topic. You can just send us an Instagram post.
Okay, so yeah, I'm just gonna talk about my experiences so far in Virginia Beach birding and just like the nature areas and stuff around here. So I definitely had an impression of Virginia Beach before I got here. I thought it'd just be like like a beach town with like a lot of retirees or a lot of like rich people just like with houses at the shore, which I'm sure it is a little bit. I mean, it is like that a little bit once you get closer to the shore, but the town of Virginia Beach is a lot more, it moves a lot more inland as well. And I've been pretty happily surprised about like the nature offerings here.
Yeah,
Um,
I remember looking at like Google Maps when you said you were going there. There's a good amount of stuff around.
there's a good amount of stuff around. I'll talk about a couple spots, the two spots that I've been to now, and I'll also mention some spots that I would like to go to that I have on my list. Um, but yeah, no, I was just thinking about it, and I think it's cool that, or I think it's good to note that even if you're in an area that you think is like not super cool, just like, oh, this is just like a town or this is just like, a city. If you look around a bit, there's a lot of cool things around that you may not be aware of. Um, Kind of like
Yeah.
that, same when I was in Philly. Like, I don't know about John Hines. It's like awesome. It's like
Yeah.
super awesome.
Yeah, yeah. How would you, if you're specifically looking for birds, a good way to do that is just to pull out eBird and check out hotspots around you.
Yep, check out Ebert Hotspots. And that's kind of what I did initially when I got here. And I came across Back Bay National Wildlife Refuge. Also a national wildlife refuge, kind of similar to John Hines. So I went there and that's where I got uh the pics of the sanderling. which we talked about in the last episode because that was your 200th lifer.
Yeah, I put one of
Um,
those pictures up for the episode because I wanted to plug your Instagram. So
you put a picture of it of one. One of my pictures.
yeah. Hmm.
Okay. So those are unedited. I'm gonna say now that I will have an edited photo ready for you by episode one release date. And that's just to hold me accountable to actually edit my photos and not just let them build up and become overwhelming. So, you heard it here first. Like I am holding myself accountable in the past.
Yeah, it gets too
S
tricky if you think about it,
s
so don't think about
s
it.
Something like that. Yeah, I'm not gonna think about it. Anyway, so yeah, Back Bay National Wildlife Refuge, really cool. Really cool habitats. Just like in like a relatively small area. I mean, the actual National Wildlife Refuge is like thousands of acres, or like I think like 2,000 acres, but maybe even more. Um, but the area specifically that I went to, in 1 second you can be in like the dunes, like the shifting sand dunes, which are really cool. And
Oh,
another second you could be in like just like a total beach area and freshwater marsh, like the saltwater marsh as well. So it's like it was really cool that it was just like you can be in different habitats, just like a 5 to 10 minute walk away.
so
Um,
fresh and saltwater marsh.
yeah, I guess there's more of an inland side, which is freshwater, and then closer to the
That's really
beach, so you
cool.
can
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Um, what else? Oh, so what I learned about Back Bay National Wildlife Refuge is that it got that like designation as a wildlife refuge, I think in the 30s or early 40s. And its main goal was to be like a protected habitat for waterfowl migration, especially like wintering waterfowl migration. So think your ducks, geese, stuff like that. Um, but it was also a very important stopover site. If you remember episode two, season one, we talked about John Hines being a stopover site for migrating birds, especially those wintering migrators. Um, so yeah, Back Bay, super cool. I'll definitely be back there. Um, you can get pretty close to those sanderlings and different peeps. So yeah.
Yeah, you got good angle there. It looked like you could get pretty close to like eye level. So that's nice.
Yeah, if you're willing to just lay on your stomach for like 20 minutes and have maybe a sanderling come close to you, then yeah, you can definitely you can definitely get a nice shot. Another thing, not bird related, but I thought it was kind of cool. Loggerhead sea turtles also nest at Back Bay National Wildlife Refuge. It's like the northernmost of their range, but I'm like pretty south now. So,
Yeah, wow.
there's like a whole new world out there.
That is very cool. Sea turtles. Wouldn't
Hmm.
have occurred to me. That's really cool.
Yep, yep. Um,
Do you like I actually used to spend like a week every other summer in North Carolina, and that's pretty close to where you are. I saw sea
mhm.
turtles hatch one time. It was very cool.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, so speaking of North Carolina, I realized that the Outer Banks are like not super far from where I am. If I like want a straight drive, it would take me like 2 hours. Um, but so the next area I was going to talk about was Stumpy Lake, which I just went to this morning.
It's good names
And
out there. I know. I don't know if you're
Stumpy
going to talk
Lake,
about this other one, but I know we saw it on Google Maps, the Great Dismal Swamp. I think that's the
yeah,
best name of a place I've ever heard.
I haven't been there yet, but I'm planning to go. But yeah, the names in these places are really cool. Um, but what I was going to say was the Southern hospitality is real. You can maybe debate whether Virginia Beach is the South or not, but it's southernmost place I've ever lived. So,
Yeah.
and people are definitely quite friendly. Like I was eating pho in a restaurant just like by myself, right? Some dude just turns around and he's like, "What are you eating there? That looks good. I might order the same thing. What are you eating there?" I was like, "Oh, in Philly, I mean, like, okay, p people are nice, people talk to you, but I don't know, it just feels a little different."
Yeah.
And when I was birding in these two places, Back Bay and Stumpy Lake. I ended up talking to like these two people for like an hour or
Nice.
like yeah. And so the person I talked to at Stumpy Lake, she gave me like a whole slew of places, which were like really cool because these were places that were not popping up on Google Maps or even eBird for me. Um, Partially, I think she was telling me to go further than where I was looking, like
Hmm.
Outer Banks, North Carolina. But just throwing it out there, prefacing maybe some of my future field notes. She told me to go to Knott's Island, drive to Knott's Island, and then there's a ferry, a free ferry, might I
Oh,
add, that you can put your car on, and it'll take you closer to the Outer Banks, and you can like drive a half hour and get to the Outer Banks that way. Um, so I thought that was kind of cool.
that's very cool. I love a
Yeah,
ferry. That's where I saw the Great Shearwater.
and I like yeah, it's also I took a ferry from like New Haven to Long Island before with like with my car on it, and you have to
Mhm.
spend money, like I think a decent amount of money,
Yeah,
and this being free is pretty dope.
that's awesome.
Yeah. Going back to Back Bay really quick, so the sanderling is like one of their main have species they have there, um for feeding, right, and for breeding. Another one of their main species is willets. Have you seen a willet before?
Well, okay, so I think I did. This was before I could really ID anything, but in
Hmm.
Connecticut, like I saw a bird. I took a picture of it just before I had my big long lens, and I looked it up and I thought, well, that's a willet. Thinking back, it might have just been a greater yellow legs, but I don't know.
Yeah, I remember when we were at Forsyth, I think it was. We thought we saw a willet, but then we decided it was probably just a some sort of yellow legs.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, anyway, willets are also like a key species there.
Yeah. Did you see any
But
when you went?
no, I didn't see any. I saw a couple of whimbrels,
Nice. We only
kind of
saw
cool.
that was just like that one we just barely saw, right?
I thought maybe I'm misremembering, but I thought there was like a few that we just saw
Oh,
like fly
yeah,
by.
just that one instance of them flying overhead is what
Yeah,
I
that
meant.
yeah,
Yeah.
that one instance, yeah. Yeah, so Wimbrel, so I thought that was pretty cool. I saw a brown pelican.
Oh,
Um,
yeah. That's very cool.
yeah,
Don't get
that
those up
was a li
here.
that was a lifer for me. Yeah. Just living here at the beach access is unprecedented. Like anytime I'm just like, I could go to the beach, you can go to the beach. It's super cool. Um, and back when we saw American oyster catchers at Bombay Hook, and the other time we saw them at Cape May. I mean, they're still a cool bird, of course, but I was like really like, oh, that's kind of a rare bird. I haven't seen one before. There's a ton over here.
Oh, yeah.
Same with ospreys. Like as far as the eye can see, ospreys. There's this cool like bridge tunnel like over the Chesapeake that connects Maryland and Virginia. It's pretty dope. It's like 17 miles, and once you're in the middle of it, since it's so long, it's just all you can see is the Chesapeake Bay. Um,
I've heard
and
great things
every
about the bridge tunnel.
it's all so I forget the name of the hurricane that was happening when I when I was there, just moving. It started with an E. Edna. I'm making that
Something
up.
like
Anyway,
that. Yeah.
um, yeah, it felt like the waves they weren't crashing, high enough, but it was kind of spooky. Um, but on every light post, pretty much on that 17-mile drive there, an osprey was just chilling.
That's cool.
And we saw a few ospreys in Philly, but being near the coast, you just see them all the time here now.
Yeah. Yeah. Anytime I go out to like New Jersey or Bombay Hook or something, it's always like, wow, I forgot how many ospreys there are.
Hmm. Yeah. I'm trying to think what else. I think I saw a tricolored heron when I was driving along that bridge tunnel, but I didn't add it to my life list yet. Just I wanted to make sure. I'm sure you would have added it to your life list and literally made
I
sure
would
to
have
move it.
instantly. I wouldn't have given it a second thought. Yeah.
Um, I heard a brown nuthatch today multiple times on Merlin. I maybe thought I saw it, but I didn't get a photo. And I didn't like concretely see it. It was probably just a yellow rump warbler, which I saw a ton of.
Brown
So
nuthatch. That's really
I didn't
cool.
add that either. Yeah, it's just like a nuthatch with like a brown cap. And I hadn't even heard of a brown nuthatch before. I only knew of the white-breasted and the
The
red-breasted, right?
red-breasted. Yeah,
Yeah,
I just found out about the brown nuthatch when you said it a minute and a half ago. So,
right now. There we
yeah,
go. So yeah, the place I went to this morning, Stumpy Lake. Love that name, by the way. Can't
great
get enough
name.
of it. Um, Also a very cool place. Not definitely not as like expansive and extensive in terms of like walking trails and stuff. Um, but just like the habitat was really unique and cool. They're they're like big or like their main like draw is the bald cypress trees. Are you familiar at all?
No, nope.
No. Okay. Do you know what mangroves are?
Yeah, that's like in like Florida, like the swampy kind of guys, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, so these trees are not related, but they're similar in that these trees are like really close or like in the water, pretty much, right? And
Yeah,
their roots are such that, like I said, they're different. They have different mechanisms because mangroves are more in like saline areas, like conditions, versus bald cypress are in freshwater areas. Um, but their roots are such that they're like a little. So first they need to dig into the ground to like be stable in the water, and they're a little more raised, and they kind of have these like stalagmite kind of things poking out. For bald cypresses, they're called cypress knees. It just helps with like gas exchange and like proper like oxygenation for the tree.
that's cool.
But it's just like a really cool sight because it's a lake, and then you'll just see trees like just coming out of the water. And mangroves, tend to be kind of short,
Yeah.
from what you've seen, right? These are just like legitimately tall trees.
Huh.
Um,
Did you say like
and
are
so
they
just like,
like pine-ish or do they have like leaves?
oh no, no, yeah, they have like I don't know the proper terminology, like deciduous or like, they have leaves. They're not like
Okay,
pine needles.
cool.
But what's it called? Yeah, it's just cool. Just like a large body of water, like a lake, and you're just seeing trees just pop up out of nowhere, right? Um, And it along those trees, so you can also see a lot of like egrets and herons and stuff like that, which I saw a lot of today, just like near those trees, which is really cool as well.
Nice.
Um,
Any like
yeah.
anything other than just like great egrets and great blue herons, any snowies, black crowned night herons, things like that.
Not that I saw. I saw some laughing gulls, saw some double-crested cormorants, saw some mallards. Oh, there's another species that just left my mind.
Another kind of duck.
No. Yeah, it's all right. I did this lady did tell me that anhingas are also common to the area. Didn't see one that day. That would be a lifer
Nice.
for me. So
Yeah,
excited to
snake bird.
go back. Yeah. Have you seen an anhinga?
I did, yeah. During the Florida trip where I saw half of the birds on my life list, saw an anhinga. Very cool. It is just kind of like a cross between a snake and a cormorant. But actually in Philly recently, someone did report that they saw an anhinga flying overhead. I don't know how they identified it as an anhinga just by it flying overhead, but they seemed pretty confident about it. So there might have been an anhinga near Philly.
Yeah. I've never seen one, but I thought there were reports of them at Hines before, like Darby Creek area.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
But rare, definitely rare.
Had almost a really cool. I mean, it was a cool experience. Heard Bard out
Oh
like
yeah. Like during the
very
day?
clear during the day. Yeah. Or I guess at this point it was more like afternoonish. But so it wasn't like I didn't go like bright and early in the morning. I went like late morning, early afternoon kind of thing. Um, so heard the Bard owl very crisp, very clear. Who cooks for you? Um. But I just like couldn't go any further. First of all, I would have been off trail, and I don't really like going off trail, especially in
Yeah.
natural areas. And there's just like swamp, so I couldn't go
Yeah.
even if I wanted to. So I couldn't go much further. But I like stood there for 10 minutes just listening to it. It was awesome.
It's such an amazing
Um,
sound. Yeah, I would do the same thing.
yeah, it. I was like alone there, and it was like very like heavily wooded, so it was like kind of dark in the forest, even though it was like midday. And so it was like kind of creepy as well with Halloween right around the corner, but I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, is that this is just about a year to the day of when we saw the barred owl. So
Could have been the same one,
what
maybe.
goes around comes around. Yeah, it flew from
Yeah.
Cape May down to Stumpy Lake.
Stumpy Lake. Yeah. Then I also saw the normal like golden crowned kinglets, yellow rump warblers, like I said.
I like that the
Um,
kinglets are back. They're
yeah,
starting to show up in Philly too. I miss those guys.
nice. Yeah, I wish I was able to get out birding a little earlier than I did, because the weekend before I went to Back Bay National Wildlife Refuge, there was two roseate spoonbills seen, which would have
Really,
been a lifer for me. I know you've seen them, but I haven't seen them yet, and uh, I'm hoping to see them at least in the spring or the summer of next year.
yeah. I mean, that'd be cool. It sounds like they're probably more common there. They're definitely more common there than they are up here. But
Yeah.
I think you have a good shot at seeing one.
Yep. Same with the tricolored heron, trying to see them in the spring, the summer next year. Trying to go to the Outer Banks, trying to go to Great Dismal Swamp, First Landing State Park, um, Knott's Island, McKay Island. There's a lot of stuff. So, and I just finished midterms. So I'm in kind of a school lull for a little bit. Not really a lull, it's still busy, but comparatively. So I'm gonna try to go out birding more for sure.
That's awesome. Yeah. So what are some, do you know, like, what are some like fall, winter birds that you think you might have a good shot at seeing?
Um, I haven't looked specifically yet. Um, but I'm really excited for waterfowl in the winter. I don't know if snowy owls make their way down here. I feel like it's probably too south for them. But you never know. But yeah, I haven't looked into the sea ducks especially. Um,
Yeah, I bet like you have the, I mean, you'll have the freshwater marshes, the saltwater marshes, and the beaches all right there. That's going to be a lot of different ducks you can find.
mhm. Um, so yeah, no concrete answer there. I wish I was able to get out more like at the early fall for warbler migration. But I think I missed out there too. Um, but in the spring for I think Stumpy Lake, at the very least, which I looked up, they get prothonotary warblers, they get like Acadian flycatchers. I was mainly looking for stuff that are not on my life list.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I'm not sure, but like typically uh from like the common birds that I would like typically see. I was mainly like focusing on the getting my life list to 200 because you're already there.
yeah. Well, I mean, it depends on if you count that willet or not, but yeah, I'm counting it. So no, I'm at like 209 at this point, I think. So
Oh wow, that's
yeah.
you flew past it. Nice. Yeah.
That's exciting. I feel like, yeah, really cool habit that the pelican is, it's just like not something that would have even occurred to me. So that's really cool.
Have you seen an American white pelican before?
Yeah, so once again,
Oh,
this
you said
Florida
in
trip,
Colorado,
but
right?
also in
Oh,
Colorado, yeah, they
yeah.
it's like, you know, a very bizarre stopover site. There's really important ones in Colorado for pelicans, so not at all what I would have expected. And I only saw a few very briefly through one of those like telescope things that you put a quarter into and you look. You
Hmm.
didn't have to put a quarter into this one, but it was like far enough away where I couldn't even get a picture. But yeah, very very cool birds. Weird, man. Like their mouth things when they're not like animated, they are bizarre.
When they're not in Finding Nemo, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so that's what I got for my birding experience here so far. Definitely a lot more to come, especially as the seasons change. And yeah, I'm definitely more excited now that like I've experienced some of the nature that is on display here compared to like my initial impressions just moving
Mhm.
here.
Yeah. No, I mean, it sounds like it's going to be a great place. And it's good that you are you and you have the skills that you have where you can like go and talk to people for, an hour and then figure stuff out. Because I would not do that. So
No, but
very
that's what
impressed.
I'm saying. People like, I mean, I don't know. In Philly, like, I feel like especially when we were birding, we were the ones initiating a lot of the conversations. But
Hmm.
we definitely met some friendly birders who would initiate with us and like teach us stuff and whatnot. But people just start talking to you here. Like, I don't know. It's nice.
Yeah. Nice. I mean that's good. I was thinking, yeah, you were saying like they like just turn around and say, "What are you eating?" Like if someone did that to me here, I'd be like, "What? Why are you
Yeah,
asking?
dude, I was like mid slurp as well. I was like, let me finish.
What what do
I'll
you
be
want to
I'll be
know?"
right with you.
Who's asking? Yeah.
Um, yeah, so that's what I got for today.
Very cool. I'm excited to hear as we go through the season, what birds you find. Field notes are going to be a treat.
Field notes are going to be hopefully very spicy moving forward here. I'm trying to get that life list up.
Yeah. Yeah, that's inspiring me to try out new places too, especially if Heinz isn't going to get its water back. I gotta find some new places.
Try the I know we mentioned it when I was in Philly. Try the water treatment plant,
Yeah,
like
yeah, people
a
do
little
talk about
north.
that.
People
Hmm.
talk about that. And I feel like it's probably pretty sick. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna try some new places.
cool. Okay. Shall we move on to the game?
The game. Yep. If you weren't here last week, why not go listen to that episode? But we are no longer doing the closing caw because it's visual and because we're not in the same room. So it's really hard to send bird calls back and forth. So instead,
Yes.
we have a different game.
Imagine we were sending each other bird calls and also recording this live. Like
Yeah,
it'd just be a total mess. So yeah, we did like a guess the who's that Pokemon kind of thing at the end of episode one. Let us know if you enjoyed that.
you got
Um,
100% on that. Nailed it.
yeah, that was a lot of fun. Um, I'm I was thinking about that, who's that Pokemon, guess the Pokemon thing, and it reminded me of a YouTuber that I used to watch back in the day, a Pokemon YouTuber called Chimpact. And this is a this next game is inspired from him. So shout out Chimpact. I don't know what it's called. I don't think it's called anything. I don't know. But I birdified it, of course.
Nice.
So here's the concept, okay? I'm gonna give you like a Jeopardy style clue. And the first part of the so it's gonna like read as one sentence, but it's gonna reference two birds, and the ending of the name of the first bird is gonna become the beginning of the name of the second bird.
Okay, yeah, classic bar trivia type of question. I love it.
Okay. Um, So coming up with these was actually very difficult. So I am going to give you an example that I came up with, but it's not a great example.
Yeah,
The actual questions will be more interesting,
cool.
in theory. So the clue would read something like the national bird of the US and lived in New York and was named Flacco.
Oh, so bald eagle owl.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So the answer for the first part, national bird of the U.S. was bald eagle, and lived in New York, named Flacco, was the Eurasian eagle owl. Just got rid of the Eurasian part there. And so the answer is eagle owl. So bald eagle owl is the answer, and the eagle is the connector.
nice.
Um, it is not necessarily the case that a full word needs to be the connector. It can just be like a couple letters.
Okay, that's good to know.
And in one of the examples I came up with, it's it's not exactly the same letters, but it sounds the same. Like phonetically, it's the same.
Okay, okay,
Okay. And I just came up with these, so I have no reference on like if these are hard or not. Hopefully, they're not too difficult.
great.
I think you can do it. All right, so I
Yeah,
have three.
historically, I'm really good at games, so let's give it a
Okay,
shot.
cool. All right. So a seabird with the largest wingspan that is known for its excellence at fishing.
Okay, see, known for its excellent at fishing, could probably be something like a kingfisher. Largest wingspan? I want to say an albatross. You said a seabird with the largest wingspan?
Yeah, I'll read the clue one more time. And I
Okay,
want you to answer as in a Jeopardy question, like what is the bald
got
eagle
it.
owl?
Okay.
So the clue is a seabird with the largest wingspan that is known for its excellence at fishing.
Okay. Um, boy, I am thinking out loud here, so this isn't the answer. I'll answer in the appropriate style. If it's an albatross, then I'm like thinking of a tross something. I don't think I know of anything that starts with a tross or an os. So maybe I need to think of something that ends in king. I'm going for something like kingfisher or heron. If it's a heron that's known for its fishing. Um, boy, okay, what is the largest seabird, the largest wingspan? If it's not an albatross, it could be
Let
like
me
a
know if you need a little
Jaeger.
hint.
I need a little hint.
Okay. Um, I'll say I'll give you a hint for the back end because I'll say you had a good foundation for the front end, okay?
Okay.
Um, that is known for its excellence at fishing and its high-pitched cry or high-pitched song.
Call.
It's not really
Okay.
not a song. Call. Yeah.
Excellence at fishing and its high pitch call. And I was on track for the first one. So maybe like an albatross. Oh,
Okay, hold up. You're like
albatross
a
spray.
music.
What is albatross spray?
Yes, you got it. You
Yeah.
got it.
Nice.
I
Okay.
I was going for. I mean, you got it. A wandering albatross is the bird with the largest wingspan. So, what is the wandering albatross spray? Um,
Cool.
Cool. Okay, I'm glad you got that one because that was the one where like albatross is OSS,
Hmm.
ends in OSS, but osprey just starts with OS. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Got to think of it like Scranimals. You ever go read the book Scranimals? Welcome to
No,
Scranimal Island. Okay. Don't worry about
no.
it. The mangarilla, the orangutangerine. Don't worry about it.
Oh wait, that's kind of like what we're doing here. Yeah, I know.
Exactly. Yeah.
I haven't heard of that. Okay, cool. All right, clue number two. Also known as the timberdoodle, this bird has a flute-like song, and is not a robin like the American robin.
Okay, let's see. So, obviously the American woodcock. Um, like the robin is a thrush, maybe a wood thrush. So what is the American wood thrush?
You got it? Good
Yeah,
job.
nice. All right.
Yeah. The robin is not a robin, as we know, clearly.
Yeah.
It is actually a thrush. So, like the wood
And
thrush.
wood thrush, amazing call. We heard it in Morris Park that one time. Really
Hmm.
loved that call.
Yeah, very pretty call. Um, okay, I'm glad you're getting these. I was worried that these were nonsensical, but I'm glad
No,
they
no,
make sense.
I've gotten a lot of bar trivia. I love this kind of
Okay,
stuff.
great. All right, and this is the last one I have for you. Um, a small raspberry colored bird that also loves seeds and spends most of its time in flight nesting in man-made structures.
Ooh, okay. A small raspberry. Raspberry is the color red. So I'm thinking of a small red bird that loves seeds.
I mean,
And
raspberries can be like different colors too.
can they? Oh boy, berry knowledge exposed. Like
Or like different
purplish
shades, you
red,
know?
different shades. So not like we're not thinking like cardinal red. We're thinking like maybe like purple finch type colored. And what was the second half?
Um, I'll just read the whole thing again. A small raspberry colored bird that loves seeds and spends most of its time in flight and nesting in man-made structures.
Boy, okay, so what nests in man-made structures? I famously the peregrine falcon does, but I don't think it spends most of its time in flight. What spends most of its time in flight? The Arctic tern, of course. The like Jaegers, albatross again, but they don't nest in man-made structures, do they? Hmm. Hmm. The peregrine falcon, peregrine. I'm gonna get stuck on peregrine. Get one more little hint. Should I get stuck on peregrine on the second half or
You
no?
should not get stuck on
Okay,
peregrine,
good
no.
to know. Good to know. So it's one of those wacky
I feel
seabirds,
like
huh?
I feel like try to get the first bird, which you were on the right track, slash you may have already said it.
Okay.
Um, and then once you confirm that, the ending of that may help you with the next one.
Okay, so it's definitely a purple finch. Purple
Yeah.
finch, inch, purple finch, finch. Oh, purple finch. Uh,
Let's hear your thought process out loud
okay.
here.
So purple finch, of course, is where I am for start because that is a small raspberry colored bird. And I'm just trying to think of another bird that would start with like a finch or an inch sort of noise. Or maybe it just starts with a CH. The what is the purple fin Chesapeake tern?
No, no, no. Um, yeah, you see these. So for the back end bird, uh, you see these a lot in Philly or
I
in
do.
cities.
Oh boy. Okay. So we're thinking of something in cities. Oh, purple fin chimney swift.
Purple fin chimney swift. You got it.
Nice. All right.
Yeah. All right. Hey, you did a great job. Hopefully that was fun.
It was. I mean, I got there, no hints at all, obviously. I can't even cut out the hints anymore. You see the behind the scenes now. But minor hints, I'd say. I liked that. I like that kind of game.
Yeah, yeah. Everyone that's listening or watching, let us know if you also enjoyed that. Maybe we can have some of these mini games be a recurring theme. Um, although it was difficult to come up with with these answers, I will say. I
Yeah,
was quite proud of albatross spray. I really like albatross
Albatross
spray.
Spray was yeah, really good. I think that game is done with like people's names, you know what I mean? So it's like
Mm.
um Cincinnati Reds first baseman at one time who saying Born to Run, and you go J. Bruce Springsteen, but it's a little
Oh, I see, I
easier.
see. Gotcha,
But
gotcha.
it's tough, yeah, because there's not a lot of words that end a bird name that start a different one. But I think you did a great job.
Thank you, thank you. Um, yeah.
Great episode.
Uh, yeah, let us know if you enjoyed. Once again, our email is birdsarereal.pod@gmail.com. If you just want to tell us we're doing a great job, we're doing a bad job, or if you want to send us any hoot topics.
Yeah. And remember, you can maybe text our email. I have no idea if it'll
Yes,
work. So give it a shot. Why not? What do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? You can see
it's a
us
great
now.
point.
There's nothing to be afraid of.
So, so true, so true. If you're interested in our bird photos, we are both now somewhat I'm thinking of the word. Credentialed is not the right word.
Yeah, but I
We were
mean,
both
we have the sauce kind of, We're
we kind of have the
we
sauce. We
we
were
were
both in that
accepted into a
we were
contest.
accepted. Yes. Our worth has been seen. We have been acknowledged even,
Hmm.
which is good. So
Yeah.
yeah, you can find those in the bio of our Instagram Birds Are Real pod.
Yeah, super cool if you follow those and just like pictures that we post. That's all we care about. We're never gonna try to sell you something because we each have like 100 followers. No one sponsors us. Again, you got nothing to lose. You just get to look at cool bird pictures.
Yeah, but that dopamine hit, just imagine,
Mm.
someone hits a like. Oh, great.
Yeah,
Amazing.
you are doing something nice for someone else, and you don't even have to do anything. It's amazing how it works out.
Yeah. All right,
Cool.
well, stay tuned. We're gonna try to do these weekly. Honestly, it's my fault if we don't. My schedule is kind of random sometimes with clinicals and whatnot starting soon. But yeah, we'll try to pump these out weekly.
Yeah, I mean, how dare you try to make something of your life? You got to be a bum like me. But yeah, no, we will put out as regularly as we can. But thanks for listening. Until next time,
Till next time,
Albatross Bray.
Albatross spray.